implementation of its intervention projects in Nigeria.
We also look at those who are going out. And let's not assume that it's only those coming in. We also want to tell those who are going out.
Health Minister says Nigeria is not leaving anything to chance with managing the risk of Ebola importation into the country. And Nemesis catches up with suspected criminals responsible for killings and cattle rustling in some parts of Kaduna and Zamfara states. Good evening and welcome to the Network News. I'm Bimbo Loyede in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Elizabeth Omori is in our Lagos Network Center, while Daoju White joins us from Port Harcourt. Welcome. 56 suspects terrorizing Zamfara State and Kaduna-Abuja Highway have been apprehended by the Nigeria police. Haman Jabani reports.
One of the suspects involved in the Gwaska village attack is a master's degree holder in public administration from a reputable university in the country. Items recovered from them include 64 rounds of ammunition, 44 AK-47, 41 locally made rifles, 70 other assorted firearms, and 6 vehicles. Parading the suspects, Force Public Relations Officer ACP Jumo Moshood said some of them were arrested following a tip-off from spirited Nigerians, coupled with measures put in place by the police to curtail the tide of crimes.
This is Ibrahim Musa Sage. He's a very notorious and vicious leader of a kidnap for ransom gang. He has kidnapped in Zamfara, some part of other Niger, and equally in Kogi State. He's the one that collected ransom of 17 million. When the police were on his trail with his gang member, we engaged them in a shootout, and successfully we were able to eliminate 4 of the gang members. The
police spokesperson reiterated the commitment of the force towards tackling security challenges anywhere in the country. Birnin Gwari in Kaduna State has of recent been in the news following a series of attacks on its communities by bandits. The most recent being last Saturday, where more than 45 persons were killed in Gwaska community. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai of Kaduna State has visited the community for an on-the-spot assessment and reassured the people that government is taking decisive measures towards addressing the security challenges in the state. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The Kogi State High Court, presided over by the Chief Judge, Justice Nasiru Hajana, has fixed 16th of this month for ruling on the bail application filed by counsel to Senator Dino Melaye. Austin Anyebe reports that this followed an agreement reached on the application at the sitting, which lasted more than 5 hours.
The first 2 applications were moved by the Prosecution Counsel, Alex Zion. The prayers in the first application was for the High Court to vary the order of the senior magistrate that Senator Dino Melaye be remanded in police custody, arguing that the prisons have required medical facilities to cater for the health of the defendant. He argued that there is nothing to show that Senator Dino Melaye has any serious ailment which cannot be handled in prison. In the second motion, the Prosecution Counsel urged the court to refuse to grant the bail application, as Senator Dino's case must be determined in special circumstances as he stands to jump bail and interfere into the judicial process. But counsel to the defendant, Mike Ozakomi, told the court that the Prosecution Counsel cannot raise the issue of variation of order made by the High Court on the 4th of May, as he did not appeal the order of the Magistrate Court. Arguing the bail of his client, he urged the court to grant him bail on self-recognition as a serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as bail is not meant for punishment but to ensure that the defendant comes for trial. He cited his ill health, representation of constituents among other constitutional rights he enjoyed as a citizen of Nigeria. He referred the judge to the reports from the National Hospital where he enumerated his health conditions as reasons why the senator should be granted bail.
They have not brought any contrary evidence from any medical hospital, from the prison that they want him to be sent to, that they have the required facilities to treat this man.
I've given our reasons following the antecedents that has been happening, why
he should not be granted bail.
Justice Nasir Hajana, having listened to their oral evidence and received their documentary evidence, fixed 16th of this month for ruling in Lokoja. Austin Anyebe, NT News.
As the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. With a 20 billion naira new head office complex, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says Nigerians should expect new strategies that would rid the country of corruption. Aliyu Tukur reports.
Considering the role the EFCC plays in fighting economic and financial crimes, and with the increasing number of suspected looters being arrested, there is certainly need for the Commission to have a world-class facility. The new office complex is designed in such a way that it earned the commendation of Nigerians, including the Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki and Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara. Inspecting the complex, both legislators commended the Commission for its effort in fighting corruption and urged Nigerians to support the crusade.
My presence here is to say that whatever we do in our job, the most important thing is that we all represent institutions and we must work and see that is in the interest of the country.
So you can see you are better equipped than the National Assembly. So the challenge therefore is that you should succeed more in implementing the laws that we pass.
And it's a good idea if we can have a separate court that will face the corruption cases.
The new office complex, which is expected to be inaugurated on the 15th of this month, comprises of 10-story office building, a clinic, water treatment plant, alternative source of energy, a car park, as well as a standard detention center. In Abuja, Aliyu Tukur, NTA News.
The World Bank says it is pleased to see that its intervention projects in Nigeria are yielding results. The executive director, spokesperson for the 10-man delegation from the World Bank, Dr. Patrizio Pagano, at a meeting with the Minister of Finance in Abuja, promised better cooperation with the federal government for the socio-economic development of the country. Leah Katung Babatunde has the report.
The 10-man delegation is in Nigeria to discuss the status of ongoing World Bank projects and the country's development priorities. The World Bank has an agenda of ending extreme poverty and promoting shared prosperity by the year 2030. This visit is intended to, among other things, provide a first-hand information on the challenges that both the federal and state governments face in implementing development projects, as well as ensuring good governance. At the Ministry of Finance, the team was impressed over Nigeria's current growth record and canvassed for more inclusiveness.
The World Bank works to eradicate poverty and to make growth as inclusive as possible by boosting the income of the bottom 40%.
The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, on her part, assured members of the delegation of the federal government's vision of ensuring all-inclusive growth and raise more revenue for development.
Now we're back to growth. It's two things. It's one is to accelerate that growth, and then two is to make that growth count and make people feel it. And that's where the sort of lifting people out of poverty, employment generation.
The minister revealed that the country's taxpayers' base had risen from 14 million in 2016 to 19 million in 2018, grossing additional 5 million taxpayers into the system. The visit is a step to further enhance the goal of the Bretton Woods Institution for member countries and the effectiveness of the executive directors in providing the necessary support. In Abuja, I'm Leah Katung Babatunde, NTA News.
Federal government commended for current steps to build confidence in the country's business environment. This and closing figures at the Nigerian stock market with Chiazalam Ekie.
Good evening and welcome to Business News. The Muhammadu Buhari administration has been commended for its efforts at creating an enabling environment for business to thrive in the country by embracing the open governance process, which strives to build better reputation at all tiers of government. This has been described as a great addition to what the government is doing to bring more foreign direct investments to Nigeria.
So it's a major boost to this country's efforts. And considering that the OGP is an international effort with so many countries involved, it means that our partners will also work with us to ensure that what we are doing here in Nigeria is also transmitted to our foreign partners, and they understand that when they come to Nigeria now, the operating environment is different.
Transparency in all of our activities, whether it is in the budget conception process, whether it is in the budget approval process, or whether it is in the budget implementation process, or whether it is with respect to interaction between businesses and the government.
And credit rating agency Moody's Investors Service says the outlook for the Nigerian banking system remains stable as banks' foreign currency liquidity risks moderately due to rising prices and liberal foreign exchange policy. Moody's says Nigerian banks will continue to gradually improve over the next 12 to 18 months, while also forecasting a recovery in real GDP growth. And to the stock market reports, trading on the equities market closed on a negative note as the all-share index lost 0.40%, valued at 4 billion naira in 3,804 deals. Okomu Oil led the gainers table, while Seplat and Dangote Cement led the laggers table. The financial services sector were the most traded stock. That's the package. I'm Chia Zalameki. Please stay tuned for the rest of the news.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency wants the Senate to engage with the Ministry of Finance to provide funds in time for the agency to undertake construction of all health facilities under its mandate ahead of the end of the year funds retrieval. This came up when the agency visited the President of the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, identified late signing of the Appropriation Act and incomplete fund release as some of the reasons for the poor state of primary health care.
We've done an assessment and we will be required around 10 billion naira to complete this abandoned project and equip them. This is not part of our 2018 budget.
President of the Senate, who said every Nigeria has the right to affordable health care, argued that the challenges of the NPHCDA at the moment, if not handled, cannot get the primary health care to where it ought to be.
What you have presented to us today, I promise you, cannot get us there. When we made the Health Act in 2014, and that is what is driving us now, the National Assembly would deliver on this 1% of CRF for primary health care.
In another development, Northern Leaders and Stakeholders Assembly also met the Senate President to brief the Senate on the mission of the organization. Leader of the group, Tanko Yakase, called for cooperation towards formulating a means of preventing conflicts among their people with the goal of creating sustainable, peaceful coexistence. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
And just ahead, 2018 Annual Flood Outlook. Please stay tuned.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Adam, go and bring us your husband. Okay, hello baby.
We're in this together, okay? Can you hear me? Keep coming forward.
Wait, stop.
You okay, lean to your right. Keep walking down. Keep walking to the left. Yes.
You're almost here.
Keep going.
You are here. Wow, you did it.
I'm just so glad I didn't have to use my cane to do this.
And I am so glad no other man got you before me. Let me be your eyes.
We will never stop working to give you a network you can rely on so you can enjoy life's special moments. MTN, everywhere you go.
Hey, Adu. Look, I got something for you.
A football chassis?
Hey, Adu, come watch a game with your uncle and I.
I'm okay, thanks.
So, Daddy, you showed us Bruce Pepe yesterday, right?
We sure did.
Those 3 points are sure for us today. Game's about to start. Quickly.
The smartphone network.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام.
The second edition of the annual Ramadan lecture organized by NTA Katsina in collaboration with Al-Qalam University Katsina, Walen Hausa Foundation and Confining FM Katsina will take place on Saturday, 12th May 2018, equivalent to 25th Sha'ban 1439 after Hijrah. Venue Al-Qalam University ICT Center Katsina. Time 10 a.m. Guest speaker Sheikh Muhammad bin Osman, Kano-based Islamic scholar. Topic: implications of the use of social media on the morale of youth and Muslims in Nigeria. Discussants: Dr. Muhammad Muslim Ibrahim, Dr. Mustafa Muhammad Al-Misri. The general public are hereby invited. Signed, Publicity Committee.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Welcome back to the Network News. The federal government says mechanisms are in place to manage the risk of Ebola importation into the country. Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, at a news briefing in Abuja, assures Nigerians that there is nothing to worry about. Uche Nwinzu reports.
I was at the airport on Tuesday. The screener is working on Tuesday. What we now want to do is also monitor those who are going out. There is no screener for those going out, but there is screener for you coming in. And it's there. Once you are going, you see the television screen there, and you see your image. If you have fever, it will show on the screen and then we can ask you to step aside. What we are doing now is to introduce the form so that we can also track where you are coming from. We looked at the sample this morning, we signed off on it, we produce copies of those forms. It will now be used for those who are coming. We want to know where you're coming from. We want to limit it to regions, so we do not do it for everybody coming from all over the world. Let's concentrate ourselves to Africa and at least Central Africa.
The minister said Nigeria has also put in place more structures for research and state-of-the-art laboratories as it subjects itself to external assessment so as to improve on identified deficiencies. Already, the National Center for Disease Control is coordinating an Ebola preparedness technical working group.
I think we're in a very good place. We're building the institutions, we have the people, we have the collaboration, and we will continue to work hard to make sure that we keep Nigeria safe.
And for an update on Lassa fever, Professor Adewale, while declaring an end to the disease in the country, attributed the success to the training of health workers for emergency response to outbreaks and cooperation by some state governors.
We have more laboratories to test for Lassa fever, which we did not have in the past. So many of the so-called cases of Lassa fever in the past were presumptive cases. Many of them were not confirmed. So things have changed. We are in a better position to detect them because of the number of people we have trained over the year. Surveillance officers, we call them disease detectives. We have many more of them around, they've been deployed.
He, however, said Nigeria is working towards finding vaccine for Lassa fever. Uche Nwizu, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has expressed satisfaction with the pace of work on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The minister stated this during his second-leg inspection tour of federal government projects in Lagos State. Anthony Forson reports.
The rehabilitation, reconstruction and expansion works on the Lagos-Ibadan dual carriageway is in two sections. There is the Lagos-Shagamu, which will cover a 43-kilometer stretch, and Shagamu-Ibadan, which will cover an 84-kilometer stretch. The project engineer handling the Shagamu-Ibadan axis told the minister that work has reached 58% completion.
We have a PMB plan that we add additions to the bitumen to make the asphalt stronger and to make the durability of the road to last longer.
With this progress achieved so far, 4,000 jobs, he added, has been created in the process. For Wolfgang Glosser of Julius Berger, who are handling the Shagamu interchange from Lagos to Shagamu, told the minister that 17 out of the 43-kilometer road stretch has been completed and that in a few days' time, a massive construction work will commence, which when completed will contain the gridlock that trails the traffic around the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
We will have to first rearrange the traffic management. That's the first step which you do. And then we will start in one large section of the road towards Shagamu, about 5 kilometers from here.
This is the first time that Nigeria is using a special mixture of asphalt to elongate the last span of a road. The minister on his part expressed satisfaction with the work done so far.
The important is that with every improvement made on the road, travel time is cut. Traveling becomes more pleasant, becomes more enjoyable. Security is enhanced, businesses are improved, and the economy grows. But don't forget that we took over this project only in 2015, and the amount of progress that has been made is, even if we say so, is phenomenal. But we would continue to work jointly with the consultants and the contractors to ensure speedy delivery of the project.
In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, has expressed satisfaction with the level of work done on the first phase of the National Housing Programme in Dutse, Jigawa State. Awal Mohammed Kazaure has the report.
Inspecting the 38 blocks of 76 units of flats being built by 19 indigenous contractors in Dutse, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, said the project is for all Nigerians, not just civil servants.
We are not building for one section of society. Once we standardize this, anybody who can afford it, who shows that his income bracket qualifies him, we will set the parameters when we finish the costing.
Also inspected by the minister is the Hadeja-Unguru Road linking Yobe and Jigawa states, which rehabilitation contract was awarded since August 2010.
I am happy with what I am seeing here. There's work to be done. We see progress, and they say that they should complete this section by August.
Meanwhile, the minister has paid courtesy visit to Governor Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, who pledged to provide land for the construction of the second phase of the National Housing Program in Jigawa State. From Duse, Awal Muhammad Kazaure, NTA News.
The Federal Executive Council at its last meeting directed the Federal Ministry of Education to carry out an audit of all Nigerian universities to ascertain their performances and authenticate the veracity of the allegation of payment of tuition fees by students of federal universities. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju reports on reactions to the directive.
The directive followed protests by students of federal universities in some parts of the country over the payment of tuition. The Federal Executive Council noted that, under the law, no federal university should charge student tuition fee, but students can pay all the auxiliary fee.
But we understand now that some universities charge fees per course units in the various universities, and the FEC directed that NUC should clarify this as soon as possible so that we know whether the universities are keeping up to the rules as to fees, charging of fees in the various universities.
The Minister of State Education, Anthony Walker, says the ministry will look into it and report back to the council. Some respondents emphasize the need for universities to adhere to government regulations.
It's a positive action in a positive direction, because there are a lot of things that are going on at the university. Whatever is going on has come to the knowledge of government, and government decided that they should look into it. It's a very positive action.
This aspect of helping the masses. You know, in Nigeria now, a lot of children cannot afford school fees. And if government can help us in respect of this, our people will be happy.
They're supposed to pay school fees, not too high. It's easy for parents to pay.
Free education is a wonderful thing. It also will give opportunity to people who don't have.
Observers say management of various universities should be able to fix auxiliary fee that are affordable by students. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
Arrangements are being intensified ahead of the rescheduled APC governorship primary elections scheduled to hold on Saturday, 12 May 2018 in Ado-Ekiti. Salihu Abdullahi gives us an update.
Apart from the initial date for the APC primary election, which suffered a blow due to violent conduct by some agents and delegates, the National Working Committee of APC, which earlier chose Friday, 11th May for the exercise, shifted it to Saturday, 12th May 2018, after consultations with stakeholders. It has been a busy moment for the APC Primary Election Committee, who are working to ensure a better outing. Activities for the rescheduled exercise commence with a closed-door meeting with heads of all the security agencies, and thereafter proceeds to on-the-spot assessment of a secured venue.
We're going to have a meeting with the stakeholders of APC in Ekiti State, and also have another session with all the 33 aspirants to clearly inform them and explain to them the process the exercise will take.
Let me use this medium to warn all would-be troublemakers to stay away.
2,408 delegates were accredited to participate in the aborted exercise, which was held at the Oluyemi Kayode Stadium. 33 aspirants are in contest for the APC governorship ticket ahead of the July 14 elections. From Ado-Ekiti, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The immediate past governor of Edo State, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, has formally declared his intention to contest the national chairmanship of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Timothy Yusuf reports that the chairman of the APC Governors Forum and governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, and his Edo State counterpart were among party members that witnessed the declaration in Abuja.
The three principles of progressive, democratic, and inclusive leadership for all formed the basis of Comrade Adams Oshomole's intention to contest for the chairmanship of the APC. He believes he can add enormous value to advancing the party. Oshomole says if elected, he will ensure the promotion of party supremacy and unity, promotion of the concept of separation of powers, establishment of conflict resolution mechanism, and a credible and reliable database for members.
Having acknowledged that we have a city chairman, why am I seeking to contest for the same office? I am seeking to contest for the same office, again based on the principle that in the 21st century, in the past, the conservative notion was, if it is not broken, you don't mend it. But in the digital world, anything and everything can get better.
The chairman of the APC Governors Forum and governor of Imo State, Rocha Sokorocha, announced the endorsement of Comrade Oshomole by his colleagues.
And I must commend those who had fought for this party even before this time. They've done well. But the fight ahead, the challenges ahead are greater. And we need great minds like Adams Oshomole to do this job.
Other speakers expressed confidence in Oshomole's ability to lead the party if elected.
APC state legislators in Nigeria are with him.
Capable of reorganizing the country and leading the country to success.
He can take decisions that will touch the lives of the rural poor.
He's not faulting the present leadership, but he has come to add value.
He has what it takes, and Buhari Friends Organization Network is solidly behind him.
New officials to lead the affairs of the APC would be elected at the party's forthcoming national convention in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The APC Appeal Committee for the recently concluded Wards Congress of the party in Zamfara State has vowed to be just and fair to all stakeholders in discharging its assignment. Chairman of the committee, Senator Basi Otu, stated this while receiving petitions from the lawmakers representing Zamfara Central Senatorial District, Senator Kabiru Marafa, at the state APC Secretariat, Gusau. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
The APC National Secretariat has set up appeal committees to address complaints and grievances that emanated from the party World Congress held on Saturday, 5th May 2018. Accordingly, Senator representing Zamfara Central Senatorial District, Kabiru Marafa, along with some other aggrieved party members, was at the state APC Secretariat Gusau to submit petition over what he described as flagrant abuse of party guidelines by the committee that conducted the Congress across the state. He said the petition contains incontrovertible proofs and exhibits buttressing the allegation, expressing hope that the panel will be just and fair to all parties.
We were not given funds, and we were denied access to venues, and we were disenfranchised, and our candidates were not allowed, they were deceived.
Receiving the petition, Chairman of the appeal panel, Senator Basi Otu, assured the lawmaker and other aggrieved party members in the state that the petition will be scrutinized for appropriate action.
But I want to really appeal that we all belong to one family. We'll do the best we can to resolve this issue. We'll go apart, and I'm sure we'll hear from the others.
This is the first petition received by the committee since its arrival in Zamfara State. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Nigerian women say the time has come for them to come together to speak with one voice on gender parity and emancipation. This came to the fore as women from the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT gathered in Abuja under the auspices of Women for Women and He for She. Basi Itaikbang reports.
This gathering from interaction shows no tribal affiliations, language and religious barriers.
We are non-partisan. We are here to see that we hold the hands of even the younger ones to get them to higher levels.
To be more assertive, to stand and demand what she knows is her own right.
Women have voices. We are going to speak, and we have to be heard.
A 10-point charter of demand was presented and adopted by the women.
So we want to see a country where we are the main contributors to its new agenda. So we are setting an agenda here through the 10-point action plan.
As part of the day, the women worked around the streets of Abuja. Their message, they say, is for the society to give them opportunity to contribute their quota to the development of the nation.
Because Nigerian women have been marginalized for a long time, they have been demystified. But we are saying that we are also part of this country.
The work terminated at National Assembly, where they also presented a 10-point charter of demand to National Assembly through Senator representing Anambra Senatorial District.
Most times women are reluctant in giving their fellow women maximum support. So we have decided that since men always take advantage of that, we have to come together to support ourselves.
Basi Taikbang, NTA News.
Roger Nkodo of Cameroon has been re-elected as the president of the Pan-African Parliament. The Cameroonian legislator defeated two other candidates from Zimbabwe and Egypt. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
When members of the Pan-African Parliament reconvened for Thursday's plenary, there were pockets of motions calling for the postponement of the scheduled election for some procedural reasons. But the motions were not sustained as the Parliament resolved to go into the election. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Nigerian time, a journey of 2 months electioneering campaign by candidates vying for the position of President of the Pan-African Parliament came to an end, as members of the African Parliament decided who leads them in the next 3 years. Country by country, members voted their choice candidate. The incumbent president, Roger Nkodo from Cameroon, Central Africa, Zimbabwean Senator Fortune Charumbira from Southern Region, and Mustafa El Gendi from Egypt, East Africa, contested for the position. But Roger Nkodo defeated the two candidates with 133 votes out of the 224 votes cast.
Honorable Nkodo, Honorable Nkodo, Honorable Nkodo, Honorable Nkodo, Honorable Mustafa.
Roger Nkodo is the President of the Pan-African Parliament.
I thank those who contested the election with me, especially Fortune Charumbira of Zimbabwe and Mustafa El Gendi of Egypt. I also thank the President of Cameroon, Paul Biya. I will do my best to justify the confidence reposed on me by the parliamentarians. The re-elected parliamentarian from Cameroon will now have to preside over the affairs of the Pan-African Parliament in the next 3 years.
With this election, the Pan-African Parliament has had 5 presidents since its establishment in 2004, with Nigeria's Bethel Amadi as its 3rd president between 2012 and 2015. From the Pan-African Parliament in Johannesburg, South Africa, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the 2018 first ordinary session of ECOWAS Parliament has opened in Abuja, with a call on members to consider and adopt the resolution reached in Dakar on free movement of persons and goods, as well as the issue of migration. Correspondent Joseph Orok reports that the session is also for the Parliament to adopt its 2018 annual program.
Apart from considering the Dakar's resolutions, the session is to enable members consider and ratify the resolutions of the Joint Committee on Agriculture and Environment held in Banjul, Gambia. Speaker Mustafa Sisilo sues for the commitments of members for a successful session.
In terms of parliamentary diplomacy, some important missions are worth mentioning in order to harmonize the cooperation and collaboration mechanisms in the implementation of the community programs.
The President of ECOWAS Commission restated his resolve to collaborate with the parliaments for the actualization of the socio-economic integration of the sub-region. A representative of the Moroccan parliament's Rashidi Abdi said globally, regional integration is necessary, which is why Morocco wishes to join ECOWAS. The opening session of the first ordinary session of ECOWAS Parliament is over. But what will be the outcome of this session is what I want Senator Mao, who is a member of Parliament, to give us an insight.
The end of the day, one will be coming out with decisions as regards the policies and projects of the Commission.
We also have to discuss the reports in respect of the delocalized meeting, the one in Gambia, the one in Senegal. And you know that one thing that is in the front burner is the free movement of goods, free movement of persons within the community.
In Abuja, Joseph Orok, NTA News.
Now for an update on the strike by joint health workers. It's over to Elizabeth in our Lagos Center.
Hello Bimbo, it's nice to see you and a warm welcome to Lagos. Health workers in Lagos State, with the exception of medical doctors and dentists, have finally joined the ongoing strike by the joint health sector unions. Paul Omukago, who visited some health facilities within Lagos, has a situation report.
It is day 23 since the Joint Health Sector Unions, JSU, embarked on an indefinite strike at the national level. The strike, which has crippled health services at the federal health institutions across the country, has worsened following the decision of JSU members at the state levels to down tools as well. A visit to the General Hospital, Broad Street, Lagos, and some others within the Lagos Island indicated total compliance, as only doctors and dentists were on duty posts carrying out skeletal services.
So the MD has been going around trying to put things in order for the doctors to attend to those of us here. He said that the other workers might not come to work.
They said we should wait, but I don't know for how long.
Second operation, they give a date today. So when we reach there today now, they say they are strike.
I see all the counters is locked up. So based on I'm still around, I think by now if I leave here, I will go to private hospital.
Some union members and doctors, however, declined comments on the strike, referring NTA News crew to the State Commissioner for Health.
The situation at the Lagos Island Maternity Hospital is not different from the General Hospital.
As at the time of filing this report, JSU leaders in Lagos State were in a closed-door meeting with officials of the state government. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead when we return. Stay with us.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three
You are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah?
Welcome.
You take that one.
Yeah, that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice.
Are you sorry?
That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mom to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
How they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe goers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt, and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 Naira.
All TVs say picture quality,
but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
Every day, I see patients who come to me suffering from infectious diseases caused by germs, from typhoid to diarrhea, flu, cough. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily when we use the toilet, from our door handles, from other surfaces we transfer to others without realizing. That is why we recommend Dettol Antiseptic Liquid. Protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1, a delicious combination of rich cocoa and wholesome goodness of milk. Just add hot water to get an instant chocolatey treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. Just add hot water.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning, in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
You're still watching the Network News. The Nigerian Communications Commission has identified telecommunications service satisfaction of consumers as pivotal to the Commission's renewed efforts of quality service and value for money. The Director, Consumer Affairs Bureau of the Commission, Felicia Buchulam, stated this at the 93rd Consumer Outreach Program held in Bauchi State. Abbas Makeno reports.
Mobile phones are now an integral part of modern telecommunication with about 150 million active lines in Nigeria. The Nigerian Communication Commission is a federal government establishment responsible for regulating the telecom services and realized that information and education is a catalyst for consumer protection, especially with the rapid growing of the business in the country. The Director, Consumer Affairs Bureau of the NCC, Felicia Buchulam, represented by Deputy Director in the Commission, Philip Eretan, the Director explained that the Consumer Outreach Program is one of the initiatives of the NCC to bring together consumers and the network operators to discuss and provide solutions to consumer-related issues so as to have value for money through effective service delivery.
And also serves as a feedback mechanism for the Commission in making regulatory intervention. The consumer must be accorded the basic rights such as rights to be heard, right to be educated, right to redress, as well as right to safety.
The composition of those who attended the program has cut across professional and trade unions, security and paramilitary representatives, youth and women groups, student union, as well as voluntary organizations and individuals. This is the 93rd edition of Consumer Outreach Program organized by the Nigerian Communication Commission. In Bauchi, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
60 local government areas in 25 states in Nigeria may experience flooding this year, though it will not be devastating. This is contained in the 2018 annual flood outlook unveiled in Abuja by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. Mie Ogidi reports.
Residents in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, experienced heavy showers this Thursday, and this has been the situation in most other parts of the country, announcing the arrival of the rainy season. With this downpour and the annual releases of dams within and outside the country, these states identified by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency are advised to take proactive measures.
The severity of flood in 2018 will not be as bad as what you had last year.
Stop giving building permits, discourage illegal construction of buildings on water courses.
States on the coastlines in southern Nigeria are to be on the alert due to expected rise in sea level. Taking a journey back to the 2017 flood, where states like Niger, Benue, Rivers, Anambra and Kogi witnessed huge human and material losses, the federal government hopes that these bitter experiences will serve as a reminder for the states highlighted in the 2018 prediction to take early actions. Mie Ogide, NT News.
Now for more on the environment, let's join Dauju in our Port Harcourt Network Centre.
To see you. Thanks for joining us in Port Harcourt. After the rainstorm of Monday, 7th May 2018 and the consequent trail of destruction suffered in Port Harcourt, rainfall now sends jitters through the mind of residents and business operators in the city. Onange Fineface visited the Port Harcourt office of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency for their reaction on the weather-induced development and now reports.
Following the massive destruction occasioned by the rainstorm in Port Harcourt City, Monday, 7th May 2018, residents of the city have been advised to desilt their drainages to enable rainwater flow through to water receptacles, while tasking the state government to channel drainage water to rivers in the city to check the excesses of flooding in Port Harcourt.
The contractors who work our roads should also create a very good drainage that will allow the small gutters to pass through the water so that the thing will flow out.
All these sachet water, bottled water container, and some other things can lead to drainage blockage, and all these things should be curtailed.
We'll keep having problems with our vehicles in driving out or going in.
NTA News Crew visited the Nimet Zonal Office to ascertain likely cause of the storm and forecasts to prepare residents of the city and the state for any possible recurrence. Sadly, no meteorologist was on ground at the Nimet office to provide the required information. Rainfall in Port Harcourt is already causing flooding in parts of the city. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe says it is on course with the mandate of routing all thieves and militants who engage in illegal traffic around the Niger Delta maritime domain. Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General John Agim, stated this during a media chat in Yenagua. Gabriela Amunike has details.
Enumerating these successes recorded in the fight against crime in the Niger Delta region, the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe noted that the killing of 4 notorious militants terrorizing the region is one major breakthrough. Acting Director, Defense Information Abuja, Brigadier General John Agim, and Deputy Commander of Delta Safe, Brigadier General Kelvin Aligbe, attributed successes to the men of the force who exhibited high sense of professionalism and the discharge of their duty.
Achieve tremendous success in the area of civil military relations. A number of community relations activities were undertaken. We started narrowing down to those who actually are behind them.
Sports is next on our lineup after this timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis?
Morphine!
Presenting Mortise Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortise Power Guard.
The smartphone network. Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No. They are spread through germs, which are everywhere. You collect germs that cause diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash your hands. What you have to do is bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash your hands.
FIFA Elite Referees course ends in Abuja as top seeds crash out of the Madrid Open. More details on Sports Update.
A 5-day FIFA Member Association Elite Referees and Assistant Referees course ended in Abuja midweek with a call on the participants to strive towards professionalism and the discharge of their duties at any level of the sport.
We need Nigerian referees on all the major tournaments, be they be of CAF, be they of FIFA.
23-year-old Abigail Alaba from Ogun State, who FIFA has selected as CAF referee representative at the FIFA Captains of Tomorrow, Leaders of Tomorrow workshop in Russia, June 27 to 28, was honored at the course closing ceremony. A table tennis enthusiast, Dr. Olusegun Ajiwon, has identified publicity, money influence, and proper club organization as the way to revamp the sport in Nigeria.
There are big-time stars that are still waiting in the raw form to be developed. So I think it is important to give all the publicity that we can give so that people with means can be persuaded to try and put their money in table tennis.
In tennis, top seeds continue to crash out in the Madrid Open, with former world #1 Novak Djokovic being the latest